But then December, that's kind of, I know it's good against Storm, but I feel like they might lack damage to kill the DK. That's really the one thing I'm scared for Liquid. And we saw so many games where Dragon Knight, gets to minute 30, it's unstoppable, wins one fight, ends the game. This hero is still way too dumb.
Let's see if, like Christos was saying in the interview, though, if maybe that previous game versus the DK with the Alchemist was just a bit of a misstep for them. That they were still, if they executed correctly, would have been able to find that victory.
Yeah, they have a lot of sustain. Just bulking up your cores with Disseminate on top of Sunray. Damage early on is a problem for Liquid, but I think as the game unfolds and the Dragon Knight gets big, I don't know. Like, this hero can kill Dusa, can kill literally anything. Might be potentially a game you need in early Shiva's on Nisha, because on top of the healings of the Phoenix and just the Disseminate increasing the HP, you're gonna have an Eggs on DM more than likely. So it's just an absurd amount of healing. Maybe they need a Vessel as well, but no hero really wants to build it for Liquid.
Yeah, it's a pretty tough game for the Vessel to come out. We're going to see some action down bottom. This is definitely going to be a lane where hopefully there's a lot of kills. You got the Dawnbreaker with the Tusk combo, of course. See how that continues to go once we get some levels in the other side lane. Probably not as much action.
Yeah, I don't think so. I feel like the EM's going to ignore the boars right against the Jakiro, as well as Dragon Knight. It's just way too much AoE for you. There's just going to be a lot of poke, a lot of wand charges being built, and I think that's going to be it. But for bottom, I think that's a really hard Alchemist lane, which is also why I'm surprised. I feel like maybe they're going to end up playing the Alchemist mid and just drafting something else. But they can dodge the Concoction with Snowball. They can trap into Starbreaker with the Shards of the Tusk. So to me, that is a lane where Liquid should really get ahead. And once you get level 3, that's really when the action starts. But maybe even earlier, there's no dive on Ducalis. Now he does.
How are you? How do you currently feel about the mid matchup as well with the Storm versus the Ember? I know previously, like a while ago, it used to be Storm favored, but like maybe like 60-40. I think it was very still skill dependent. That's potentially different with the facets now as well. But do you currently have a preference with these two?
I think it's 60-40, maybe even 65-35 for Storm. The new facet change makes him insane against literally every melee hero. Like, the one weakness he had was that you kind of have to walk to the range creep. You became a sitting duck. But nowadays, it's much harder. So the Ember, you have to be very good at dodging the Remnant with the Sleight of Fist. But past the laning stage, chains are really the bane of your existence. At least they have the Dawnbreaker to assist. But obviously, Solar Guardian cooldown early on much higher than the chains. And you really gotta pick up the right fight to join as Saberlight.
What do you want the item build as well to be from Nisha? Like, we have seen some pretty aggressive orchids. Is that something that you could be considering for the Storm this game?
Chance. There's definitely a chance.
Top lane, 9 class. Okay, first blood's going to be picked up for the boys on Liquid. DM is able to hunt down the Lotus and maybe even get the kill onto Insania. Actually, in case not really do a whole lot. Another route will come out from the Hawk. The axes, I think that will secure the kill. He just has to continue to chase to keep in range.
Yeah, very nice done. Speaking of the Orchid, I think it really depends on how good of a game the Storm has, because even though you want to kill the Ember, you're also pretty scared of Roar as well as Chains. So I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up going for the Kaya BKB that we've seen a lot. It feels like it's very hard to just get like that, Orchid into Kaya or Witchblade into Kaya that Storms used to run quite a bit. Nowadays, there's a lot of control. Even though you see like the only reason you see Storms is because they're always like last pick, and even then, to me at least, it doesn't feel like a great Storm game. Good disruption.
It's going to be a long chase down, though. Is this really worth it?
It doesn't look like it. No TP though, 9 class. That's why Nisha feels like this is worth it.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Well,
It's a big
that's
curse, huh?
unfortunate.
Sin Wand, gone for Chrysalis. The damage from the Shadow Dim was able to bring Insania down to maybe under 100 health. Looks like he's going to be able to continue to play on the map though with the Tango. And bottom, we're still yet to get any kills. Saberlight is having a very good lane though, 13-11. We see Chrysalis. It's not like he's too far behind though in the Alchemist. He's still being able to find his farm, and I think one thing so far this tournament, we've seen a lot of stacks behind the safe lane tower. They've already got some of the medium, so we'll have to keep tabs if that will continue to grow.
Yeah, and I think that's like good enough. I expected the Alk to die at least once in this laning stage, so the fact that they're still keeping up is very good here for Parivision. Oh, they're gonna go in, no concoction. Starbreaker.
Hoping for. This could be where the kill is going to be. Chrysalis has a pretty big stick to work with though, and Dakalis fighting on top of the acid spray will actually do maybe just the same amount of damage to Liquid as what they did to Parivision.
Yeah, I think more importantly than making sure unstable concoctions on cooldown is really Fire Spirits. You need to exploit that window, because the extra damage you need to kill the Alk, it's really gonna come from your right clicks. Alk is tanky enough that the Starbreaker plus Shard Snowball is not enough to 100 to 0 him. And speaking of those stacks, Crystal is getting some juicy ones, but mid lane,
Oh,
Kali steals it.
May actually be able to kill Boxy with the double damage room.
Deny?
For the deny. Okay. You tried to blood grenade to get the aggro.
Yeah, so sad, couldn't attack, but it was probably dead anyways. That amplified damage on Phoenix is pretty sizable amount of damage. But with that said, you know, the Dragon Knight is getting his farm. I believe there's also stacks on the side of Parivision, which we will see DM trying to deal with soon. We're going with 3 heroes here. Maybe just trying to steal the Wisdom Rune with Tusk?
You have no mana for Solid Guardian. Sablelight's actually TPing to base to refill the resources, so he's going to be ready to come.
Oh, Disruption a little bit early, maybe? Oh, no. Perfect.
Will they use the solar or not? Yeah, there it comes out. Once
there
they
you
get
go.
a little bit of control, 9 class going to be caught inside the beacon. Really nicely done. Cool read from Liquid and what they want to do. Bringing everyone over. Saberlight TPing back to base because he was lacking the mana. So they force that fight. He's going to maybe scout the Ancient stack. Looks like no.
Scouts it, but more importantly, maybe looking to try a go here. No one, but looks like he's not gonna try. I think the biggest drawback for Parivision's draft this time around is that you have both your carry and your offlaner into this position of we need to farm, right? You need Eggs on DM, or he's pretty much a every 2 minute roar. The Alchemist can be aggressive, but ideally he doesn't want to. And December Spirit, you don't have the highest damage on your supports. Shadow Demon doesn't really bring that much damage. Fighting the top side.
Nisha? They're not going to be... They'll get the rune at least on No One. Illusion. Most impactful. No One. Nothing that he needs to fear, though. We can see the Slight continuing to be spammed, being maxed out. He's going to be able to catch up to Insania as well, and this could start to snowball the Ember Spirit, a game where he really doesn't have a lot to worry about. We've seen this Ember so far throughout the tournament as well get a good start and really be untouchable.
All right. Very good rotations. No points in Flame Guard, which I really like. You want the early chains to deal with the storm. That's really what Nisha has to be very careful about. And yeah, the tempo is going to come just pretty much all from No One and the supports. Level-wise, they are slightly struggling. I guess Ducalis at least has a little bit. He has the gap close to follow the Ember. So I think it's really Ducalis that should be playing with No One to try and get those kills. In fact, Nisha is pretty low here in the mid lane. And No One also out of resource.
They're going to try and go for the Alchemist. Chrysalis be able to get the concoction off. The Solid Guardian as well, preventing anyone else from coming close to the Elk. So Another use of the Dawn ultimate straight away. They're even going to try and protect the Observer
Kali's-
Ward, making sure they do not leave. Mickey, a little bit slow with the Dragon Tail.
Okay. I mean, Liquid, super aggressive. They just have the heroes to be a bit more in Parivision's face. So this is not the play style of Game 1 at all. This is going to be pretty different. A lot on no one's backs and the supports. And so far, you know, no one it's not playing that reactive. I think he wants to finish this mage layer so that he can posture it out the fear of being bursted down. It's definitely going to increase his tankiness by quite a bit. There you go.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Children for no one. A trade of the towers by the looks of it. Top is actually still half. We'll see if Liquid actually, if there's a decision for them to try and defend that.
Dire's top tower
They want to give it up. Looks like that will currently be the call. What would you like the build to be from Saberlight this game too? We've seen some games, of course, there's been where the Scepter maybe hasn't been as warranted, but we've still gotten the Scepter. Is there just anything in general that you're hoping for this game for the Northbreaker?
I don't want to see eggs. I think that past minute 30, they're really going to be lacking damage on the side of Liquid. It's really going to be most the DK. Sure, Nish is having a good game, but Storm is usually very limited in damage. I want to see, you know, give me the Sanjin Yasha Satanic, just give me some raw damage so that he can, even if he's not bursting people, he can stay in the fights for long, as he should keep peace. No level 6 on the Kalis.
Yeah, that's a big kill if they're going to be able to find it. Night Class gets the banishment at the last second, but now puts himself on a silver platter. And regardless, Insania is able to let that ice path go. So, two heroes, both supports playing up in the face of Liquid with no one, trying to get some reactions out, put some pressure on the tower, and Liquid again, keeping the kills going. Every time this Solar Guardian up, Saberlight 3-0-2 now, top net worth, being very active with the ultimate.
And spell usage of Liquid, pristine in that fight, just saving the ice path until the end, making sure that they kill both supports. Gold lead, you know, still even, but you have an Alchemist, so it means that Parivision is definitely behind. Crystallis is going to be working with a maybe 14-minute Radiance, which is not ideal, but that's usually the price when you first pick Alch. You know, this hero can definitely be exploited in lane, and I think Liquid did achieve that. Oh, regen!
Regen?
Okay. Fake hype.
That's a big region, who knows? We get some farm for Nisha, he's happy.
Yeah, no big stacks here. Looks like Dawnbreaker is going eggs, so my prediction is not going to be working out. I mean, protecting the Dragon Eye is nice, but... And I guess if you are ahead, you know, the damage argument, it makes less sense. But we've seen Parivision being quite resilient in a lot of the games. Even that game they lost to Spirit, it was relatively long. So I wonder, you know, how much this eggs really is going to benefit him. Maybe he changes his mind too. It's still pretty early.
See? Both sides kind of converge on top. Nine Class is getting scouted out from Insania, and unfortunately doesn't really have anyone else close by. Takalis was starting to move. But Regen from Niche is going to be able to put him back at a good mark in the resources.
A lot of pressure mid from no one though. The supports are rotating.
Can they get the kill? Mickey just a little bit too far out of range. Maybe if they get the Dragon Tail, the damage along with the stun lock from the Solar Guardian may have been there, but first time that Solar Guardian has not resulted in a kill for Liquid. Let's see what they want to do now, potentially for Parivision, if they can maybe force something on the map. No one Mage Slayer. You've got the level 6s as well to potentially have a go. I mean, DM unfortunately is still yet without the Scepter, but maybe it's just going to result in the T1 tower going down.
Yeah, I would love that. I think that with the Mage Layer already done on no one, they can definitely posture the Ember to be pretty aggressive. They are gonna poke at this mid-tier 1 at least. Rune also spawning at the same time, but it is Nisha that gets lucky.
They actually want to try and force the fight. So they go once again with the Shadow Demon. Takala's gonna tip it off the high ground. If if the fight breaks up long enough, the Phoenix could have been in a really good position with the egg. There's no way to stop them from running back to their half, however. So it's a 1-for-1. Even Chrysalis is looking to try and come through.
All right, they bring DM. No eggs ready just yet, but I mean, they get what he came for. Oh, they drop a sentry if they bait Nisha in.
If they got the control. Yeah, Nisha may just look to turn now. Ice Blast with the Vortex.
Okay. Not gonna be enough. Dragonite though, gigantic, farming literally at the same speed as the Alchemist. Radiance did get finished on Crystalis. And yeah, Parivision's plan is literally what Spirit did in that game. They're gonna build tanky on everyone. They're gonna be trying to abuse the Sunray, trying to abuse all of the healings that they have. But the thing is, Liquid,
No one?
they're a bit ahead in the time.
Not an easy kill. Gonna try and jump everything onto no one. If they can find it, it'll be massive to slow him down. But again, we're just seeing how difficult it is. And that was with all their stuns connecting and no Remnant originally out for no one.
Yeah, look at no one's items, right? He had a Spark of Courage in the armor form, as well as the Helm of Iron Will. Killing him through any type of damage is quite tough. So, does tank that game. And that's really Parivision's plan the whole time. They want to be tanky. They want Liquid going at them and then turning the fight around, which is possible. But right now, they still need a couple of items. Sanji and Yasha on the Alk. The Eggs, though, is ready here for DM.
Crystal's gonna run into Boxy and Nisha with the Solar Gun at the ready. He's gonna be able to activate the Chemical Rage. Are they forcing it a bit too much? Because they're close to the tier 2 tower. They'll
Very
get the
close.
kill, and by the looks of it, they're going to get out as well. Or do they go back in? Saberlight wanting to force it. DMC with the Roar should be able to solo kill Boxy down with a Scepter. That damage, unable to control that. So Nisha also has to TP out. It's going to be a 2-for-1, but importantly, Liquid will slow Chrysalis down, and Mickey is nowhere to be seen, and that's exactly what they want. 2-0-2 on the Dragonite. Absolutely free farming across the map.
Yeah, that's the dream for Liquid. Just keep running at them. Don't really allow Parivision to hit those very tanky timings. But I'll be honest, you know, it's not like they are this far ahead. And Parivision, they are getting to those tanky timings, and it's really on to Mike to be able to solve that. I wonder if he's going to get us
top lane.
Super Edge.
5-0-4 is the Dawnbreaker. Looks like they're going to be able to find a pretty big streak as well. Nothing insane you can do up on the high ground. And that's Roche by the looks of it as well.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, they have the eggs on B, so very easy to go for Roche, Acid Spray. No Solar Guardian as well, and I mean, the Dawn's dead, so Parivision will probably seize this one. I think Liquid's plan is to get the tower, maybe kill this Shadow Demon, and the Arcade you talked about, it is up.
We already see the yours queued up from no one as well. He's going to have this defensive item. We got yours as well for Ducala, so both heroes looking to try and address the Orchid control. This tower's not going to take much damage though. The Parivision aren't actually coming back to really stop Liquid, so maybe they will be able to get it in the end, but importantly, Aegis does go to DM, and DM's about to have a blink too, so how did Liquid actually deal with the Beastmaster? Because we've seen so far this hero can do so much in team fights.
Yeah, I mean, the Solar Guardian is really what you need, right? From this point onwards, when Blink is up on the Beast, you probably don't want to be using your Solar Guardian aggressively unless you're killing the Beast itself. Because Nisha, he didn't go for that tanky / defensive build we talked about. He actually had a really good game, ended up going relatively greedy, which can pay off. But as a team, they need to play tight, and they're going to find the best
try
target.
and catch out DM.
There you go.
So there's that Solar Guardian used aggressively for the kill. The rotations will come out. Do they want to stick around for the second life though? Ice Path, lay it down off the back of the respawn, but the concoction stops a Starbreaker Slam, and now the Supernova in the middle of the team fight. Liquid, what is the call? They're going to turn to try and bring down the Egg. If they got the right clicks, they do. Egg will pop at the last second. Chrysalis, he just can't do it by himself. No one's trying on the Ember. The spam of the spells, it's starting to tickle Liquid. They're falling down low, but the Orchid control into the Dragon Tail follow-up. Liquid, they took the team fight. They were the proactive one, entering into Parivision's jungle against the Aegis advantage, but they were ready, and they'll find a 5-man wipe as a reward.
Yeah, I mean, look at the amount of wards that Liquid drops in that big jungle. One on the left side, and that one just... I mean, the amount of wards Liquid has in the mid lane is crazy. And just the balls of going for that play, knowing that Parivision has Aegis even more. But, you know, they were ready. They knew that if they find the Beast, that's the prime target. And great save with the snowball into the Primal Roar. Parivision, first of all, they didn't really reach the tanky, the tankiest they can be, but also they were not together at the same time, as Ducal is also by himself, will be picked by Nisha. 20 galvanized stacks, that's insane. 1 a minute here for Nisha.
No one? Still without the yours, which may be a bit of an opening. The thing is 9 class is playing behind the Ember. Nisha's just waiting for some extra heroes to come follow by. DM Roar is out, but you've got the Solia and the Snowball. They were so ready for the turnaround. And now no one, is it still in some trouble? One more Remnant, gets a little bit of separation, but the shards from Box, he locks off the escape avenue. Liquid. This is the team that we usually see from them.
I love it. Dawnbreaker going for that more aggressive build we talked about. He didn't build the eggs, ends up going for the Sinjin Yasha. This Dragon Knight, absolute peak performance, minute 20. And you know, you just have better siege, you just have better catch. Parivision, if they were just slightly less behind...
Are they really going to be able to get this? Nisha with a double damage turn. Can he actually solo kill the Alchemist? Boxy's going to come through at the last second and they get him. Oh, it's the Nisha show.
Oh my lord, man. Every time I doubt Storm, I get shut down here in this tournament. This hero, they even fixed a bug with his shard, and it still looks really good. People are not buying the shard easily anymore, though. We were seeing a lot of, like, minute 16 shards. But Nisha still giving a masterclass, as maybe no one could even be in trouble.
Oh,
the Solar Guardian.
Try, let's see. Maybe the Sunray bonus healing. Okay, no one will be able to get away this time. They don't force any more reactions, but we see how close it can be.
Yeah, that Maid's Lair, very tanky on the Ember. But yeah, we had to see a lot from DM. He had a relatively good game, but didn't find the openings. And it's mostly because Parivision, they all need to farm items. And Liquid, you know, not only they had good games that they can go aggressive, you have this global capability of Saberlight. It's just so hard to play against that in this position. They're getting there though. Level 4 Disseminate on the Shadow Demon. Level 2 Sunray still. I'm surprised that Ducali's got level 2 Icarus Dive.
My friend, this is an 11,000 net worth lead and we haven't seen the DK do almost anything. We're about to see DK things.
Yeah, and he has a BKB now, so it is time for DK things. Well, looks like a lot of that's just farming, though.
You got to use importantly now for no one, so at least has his way along with the Phoenix to be able to deal with the Storm Orchid. But the Beastmaster, like you were mentioning, like how is his fights going to look? Because you have Blink Snowball save and you're going to have Scepter on Saberlight pretty soon as well, so...
Yeah, they cannot initiate anymore this far behind. They need someone to be found, ideally himself actually, but you need the Sunray and Disseminate behind him so that DM can tank through it and turn the fight around. Honestly, that is really the way to play around it. They don't have an aggressive Dispel for the Disseminate on Liquid just yet, as they will gank an Illusion, so nicely done by Parivision. Or poor Liquid.
So it happens. Some good illusion baits out there. Smoke, they're going to go back across the map. Looks like Parivision pump up to go for their own Tormentor. No Ag Shards for them. Luckily it will be Ducalis that gets it.
Oh, that's a good one. It's even more damage mitigation in a sense because of the mischance.
Love the level 12 though from Ducalis. We did see that previous fight, how close it was for the egg surviving. Yeah. He will get scouted out in the trees. TP out, Sunray, TP. Let's see if he can actually make it. Wow, nicely done, Ducalis.
Yeah, the Celestial Hammer was on cooldown unfortunately, so couldn't breach the gap. Oh, good deny on the Arcane Rune as well from DM, but damn, he's gonna be found.
DM. And they're going to be able to get a kill. Easy for Liquid.
Stolen stack as
I'll
well.
get the little remnants of the stack. Continue to control the map. Cut top, cut mid.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It is growing. Meanwhile, Mickey by himself is soloing the tower. That much to fear.
Yeah, I mean, every second that Parivision gives up on those heroes to try and get to their timings, whatever timing they get is not going to look as good because Liquid is so farmed. It also feels like Roshan's going to be theirs, right? It will be on the dire side for sure. So, and Parivision, we already talked about the fact that they are not good at initiating with the state of the game they have. Can you really stop Roshan for Liquid? I don't think you can. I actually think they're going to have to give that away and somehow defend their high ground with a big lead for Liquid, which is a hard proposition.
We'll run into Mickey's TP. Remnant TP out. Not going to continue to stick around, trying to cut. So were you saying you want to see Parivision fight Roche or not?
No, I don't want to. I really feel like it's... unless you somehow steal Roche, with Liquid not being in the pit, you have some redead
Lane
layer.
Insania.
Oh, no.
Gets a nice stun onto two. The snowball's going to be able to fall into Carlos. The Carlos will try and play around with the egg, but they've got the right clicks. And now they're going to even lose more as well. Unfortunately, just the Ember stuck by himself. They're just never getting 5-man fights on Parivision. Chrysalis isn't ready.
Here.
You've lost DM as well over to the other side, and no one... He's still being soloed by Saberlight, stuck inside the shards with a spiteful use of the spells before the death on Boxy, and Liquid, they're just getting everything they would ever want on the map.
Yep, Dragonite Dota. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Parivision, they got too focused on hitting these timings that they just kept feeding way too many kills. I mean, obviously Liquid played their lanes very well, and they should, because as we stated, the Dawnbreaker Tusk is supposed to beat the Alk. Storm is supposed to do well against the Ember, and Nisha, 29 galvanized tags, bro. It is a perfect Storm game. Literally no deaths, 9-0-11.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the cores, Saberlight 9-1 and 12, Mickey 5-0 and 4. They scouting Chrysalis. How long's it been from Nisha? He's looking to get involved in the fun. The Alchemist hoping to get towards his next set of items that will continue to be slowed down and more galvanized stacks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This game, you know, they still have tier 2s, and you know, they can reach some timings here for Parivision, but this is one of those games where I don't think Parivision can win this if Liquid doesn't make at least 2 like really big mistakes, because their draft is not equipped to play from behind or even to find opportunities, really. It's just too easy for Liquid to react to whatever Parivision tries to do.
Okay. Is away for the team. They've got the Solid Guardians, a lot of damage initially onto the Dragonite. Raw's going to be able to hold him into place as well. Maybe this is that opportunity they were looking for with this ultimate popping, but Liquid, they've had enough time to be able to respond. They kept Mickey alive long enough, and he might not even die. Finally, they'll get him with the finishing blow, but they had to commit so much. And as a result, Liquid, they will clean up. It's only Chrysalis that gets away, and I don't even know if he actually entered that fire.
Yeah, he did not. He gets the Wisdom Rune as a compensation prize, but constellation prize, this is not going to be enough. Liquid, incredibly tanky on the Dragonite. And we talked about it, like lack of damage. This Ember is supposed to do well against the Storm, but they didn't have the supports to kill Storm. Not a lot of follow-up stun. Literally, the only other stun on the supports is Phoenix Egg. And I think that's the problem. When they picked the Ember, there was no Mirana, there was no Skyreth Mage, Dark Willow that could potentially allow them to kill Nisha. And even if there was, Boxy with those snowball saves has been so clutch in protecting everyone.
Do you feel like was there a path to victory though for Parivision with how the early game went? Because you had an Embo who was just like going uncontested in the mid lane, like being able to slide spam, push out the tower, play super aggressive, or was the writing on the wall pretty early on?
I think the lanes were definitely gonna be Liquid's. Sure, the Ember was uncontested, but the Storm was also getting kills everywhere. The biggest thing to me is that Parivision, they accepted all of those pickups from Liquid and they just kept on farming. It never, I don't think maybe ever, have they fought as 5. Maybe there was one fight where we saw everyone, but they were not together. And to me, their draft is all about posture someone, literally throw, disseminate, Sun Ray, you're gonna be mage layering around, that hero doesn't die, and you actually take the fight to Liquid. But either because Liquid has been ruthless, super fast and aggressive around the map, or because Parivision just thought they could bleed all of those kills and still come out ahead. Now the lead is too big, and even if they try to do things, it's very, winning a fight seems pretty hard.
Get off the back of the Aegis, looking to try and smoke across the map. They're going to go for no one. Once again, the question's going to be the control. Insania holds the ice path for the last second, and now Nisha already is getting eager to find a +1. 9-class will be able to TP out though, with the stuns not being available. DM, however, is out on the map for BKB TP out. Is going to try and TP by himself in the trees, and he will make it.
All right. Still, pretty straightforward game here. All you need to do is group up bottom and start taking Rexes. No buyback on no one. But Mickey is by himself. You gotta remember though, there's a Solar Guardian. So can you jump him? You need to jump someone else.
Boxy's a really good target. Yeah, might Solar to try and protect him. That's going to be the case.
Solar, though,
taking a lot of spells, and finally going to be able to get the kill. The egg will go off once again. But Chrysalis is just getting chained down. I mean, there's just way too much damage. They're going to try and do their best to control Mickey, but you have an overwhelming amount of net worth lead. Nothing will stop Nisha. Your base is not even safe. He's going to zip over the top and hold down the Shadow Demon. And once DM's already used the Raw, he's going to struggle with entering the team fights as well. As Liquid, they can really do anything. These fights feel so free for them.
I don't have stats for this, but I don't remember seeing in a professional game a Storm with 38 galvanized stacks. Like, that's just an absurd amount that Nisha was able to acquire. Just your casual 34 base mana region here. Seems balanced. Mickey,
Indeed.
just going high ground here.
Still Aegis, right?
Yeah.
They didn't want to go for him, so they went for the toss. Means
There's
that
the
Mickey
banner
still
as
has
well.
a second life.
They do actually. Wait, is this a bait? Oh, they're gonna abandon the banner. Maybe just waiting for the dragon form here. But it means that the banner does get taken down.
I think they maybe got a glimpse of Chrysalis charging up the concoction with the wraparound, so they wanted to just respect Parivision. Speaking of Chrysalis, he does have a blink now completed, so maybe this can catch him off guard. Solar's already back up though, so again, like, who are you bursting? Like, maybe... It's just, you're not even in a position where you could, like, smoke across the map to try and find Saberlight, because you're losing your base. You can't make that play now.
Exactly. And honestly, even killing Saberlight seems hard. He has BKB. Like, what stops him from... Unless you don't roar instantly, he can just BKB TP out. There's tier 2 towers that people could TP to and assist. He's very tanky. And yeah, just straightforward here for Liquid. Parivision, you need to YOLO smoke. There's no other play.
Some BK illusions. DM's actually gone for a crazy backline stab with an Invis rune as well.
Oh.
There's a gem on Nisha that might actually get a glimpse of him. He's going to go further
Finds
north and run into Insania. Will commit the roll for the kill. Do they want to do anything to protect him? Instant there from the snowball. Boxy's positioning, keeps his fellow support alive. And now that was really the only fight you could look for. Maybe try and blow one hero before the further fight will break out. But now they're all in shambles. Chrysalis has been able to enter. He's doing okay. Gets 2 kills, but the overwhelming net worth lead should be too much for them. They're going to try and buy back on DM, but it might take a bit too long for him to enter the fight. As Nisha is out of mana though. Mickey, is he by himself? Aegis still for a minute. Saberlight's even sticking around, looking for the finishing blow onto Ducalis. He's going to have the damage to get it and get out of the shards as well. Saberlight dances over to the west, and now they can turn to Chrysalis. Without the Chemical Rage, there's nothing the Alchemist can do. Mickey still hasn't even lost the first life yet on the Dragonite. Heals back up without the Satanic even used. They'll turn to the Shadow Demon with the G's being dropped. Liquid. A clean